Rambam, Hilchos Genevah. We're holding now chapter 4, Perek Revi. In today's Perek, we're going to learn a custodian, a shemer, that kindness, that what was given to him was actually stolen. So now, halacha aleph, hatein shenignav mibeis hapikodin. When a shemer chinam, which is a shemer chinam, is potter to pay if a object, either a pikodin, got stolen or got lost from him, the halacha is that this shemer chinam is potter from paying. So now, this shemer chinam claims that the article that was entrusted to him was stolen from his house. Now, im nishba v'achar bo edim shesheker ton, if afterwards Adam came and said that you're lying, ushapi kodin hazeh etzloi, Adam came along and said that this guy made a false claim, the shemer chinam made a false claim, and it's still in the possession of the entrusted article. So the halacha is, the shemer chinam has to pay now double, it's to pay twice the worth of the stolen object, because the shemer chinam himself is a thief. And if he shefted or stole or sold it, stolen animal, after he took the false oath, Allah is he has to pay 4 or 5 times his worth. However, he is not required to take or to bring a ashram, a guilt offering, for taking a false oath that was discredited by Adam. He's not obligated to add a fifth to the value of the stolen article as well, because the fifth is never paid when kefil is paid. If witnesses come before he takes the shua, he's required to pay only the principal. When does this apply? When he took an oath before he misappropriated the entrusted article. If he misappropriated the pikodon, and now he claimed that it has been stolen from him, and he makes a oath to that effect, and now Adam came and said he's lying, he's potter from kefil. Because as soon as he misappropriated the article, he becomes liable for it and acquire responsibility for it. Gimel. The shemer claimed that the pikodon article was lost, and he took an oath to that effect, and then he claims and then he claimed that it was stolen. And he swore, and then Adam came along and said he's lying. He's potter from kefil. Why? For at the time that he took the first oath, the first false oath, the pikodon was no longer considered the property of the original owner. Dalit. If a person who discovered a lost article claims that it was stolen, and then afterwards witnesses came and testified that the lost article was in the possession and that he made a false claim, halacha is he has to pay twice the article's worth. Remember, like the Torah says, I'll call aveda and any lost article. This applies when he claimed that it was stolen by a armed thief, in which instance he would not be chayiv to pay. If he claims that it was stolen not beyond his control, so he's not chayiv for kefil, he would have been chayiv to pay for the lost article because of his claim. Since a person caring for a lost article that is discovered is considered to be a shemer sachar, as will be explained. Hey, when a shemer claims that a pikodon, an entrusted article, was stolen, and takes a shvua, and then Adam come and testify that the pikodon is in his possession, then and then he again claims that it was stolen. And he swears, and then again, Edom came and said, no, it's still in his reshus. Even if 100 times, it's chayav to pay double payment for each claim. So if he took five false oaths, he's chayav to pay 6 times the value of the entrusted article, the keren, the principal that was entrusted to him, and 5 times its value because of the 5 double payments, the result of the 5 false oaths. Vav. Ton tainas Genevah nishba. If a shamer claims that a entrusted article was stolen, he takes an oath, and then and then witnesses come and testify that the begotten was not stolen, or the shamer admits that it was not lost. So Allah is Hoyo Mishalan Tashtume Vahidala Yishale Avad, Hoyo Mishalan Tashtume Kevo, Al Pi Aiden in Mishalan Chemishal Shfu Acherina, Alpha Pi Shaheda. Since he must pay twice the value of the article because of the witnesses, he does not need to pay the additional 5th because of the other oath, because although he admitted it to be false. So what it is that this involves the same principle for which he is required to pay the double payment. He's not chayav to pay the chemish. Zayin, Moser Shir Lishnaim. If a person entrusted in his ox to 2 people, the Tanu Tainas Ganev, and afterwards, and they claimed that it was stolen. And then they took a shvur. Afterwards, one of them admitted that he took a false oath, and then witnesses came and testified that the other one lied. They both pay the principal. If the owner of the bekodin seizes property belonging to the partner whose oath was refuted, then we don't take it away. The one who admitted taking the false oath must pay an additional 5th of a share of the stolen article, as must all who voluntarily admit taking false oaths regarding entrusted articles. Halacha says, Baal Apikodin Shetavas Hashemer. If with regards to the chiyuv of a shamer and a thief, what happened? The owner of the entrusted object demanded its return from a shamer. Now, what happened was like this. The shamer, the owner of the entrusted object, demanded its return from the shamer. The shamer took an oath that it was stolen. Afterwards, the thief was discovered. The shamer filed a claim against the thief who admitted stealing the article. Afterwards, the owner of the bekodin filed a claim against the thief, and he denied stealing the article. And then what happened? Witnesses then came and testified that the thief stole the article. If the shamer took a shua when he claims that the article was stolen, so then he's considered the agent of the owner, and the thief is free from the responsibility of kefil because he admitted the theft to the shamer. The shamer took a false oath, the question is unresolved. And if he took it away, so the Ganev is not compelled to pay twice the value of the stolen article. If, however, the owner seizes property belonging to the thief, then it's not taken away from it. And if the owner demanded the return of the bekodin from the shamer, he paid for the article, and the thief was discovered. In such a case, the shamer acquires the right to the article and the double payment. The owner filed a claim against the thief who admitted stealing the article. Afterwards, the shamer filed a claim against the thief, and he denied stealing the article. Witnesses then came and testified that the thief stole the article. The thief is not compelled to pay twice the value of the stolen article. If, however, the watchman sees his property belongs to him, he shouldn't be taken away. Similarly applies with regard to the payment of 5 or 4 times the value of the stolen sheep or cow if a thief sold or shechted it. when a shamer claims that an article entrusted to him by a minor was stolen, and takes an oath to that effect. Now, afterwards, witnesses came and testified that the Kadin is still in his possession. He's not chayav. This applies even if the owner entrusted the article to the shamer when the owner was a Kadin and demanded its return after he became a gadol. And like it says, says when the man will give his friend articles to watch, a child's entrusting an article means nothing. Instead, he must pass from the maturity, both when he trusts an article and when he demands its return. Yud. When a shamer steals an article entrusted to him from his own domain, again, he stole a lamb from a flock entrusted to him, or a seller from a wallet entrusted to him. If witnesses testify regarding the theft, it's chayav kefil. Even if he puts it back, he puts the tlem back. As a chayav achdus by them, he's chayav. He remains responsible for them until he notifies the owner. So, since with his theft of the article, he's responsible to watch when it's concluded. Based on Klema in Yedua by them beginning was now, so first of all, it says have he not returned anything until he notifies the owner, and the little different rules applies if a person steals a seller from a wallet belonging to a friend or a keli from his home and then returns the utensil or the seller to his place. If the owner knew about the theft but not know if it's returned, the thief is still responsible for the article until his friend counts his money. Yud Aleph. When the owner counts the wallet and discovers the full amount, so then he's not chayav. Now, if the owner did not know that the article was taken or returned, it's not necessary for the owner to count his money. As soon as the thief returned the money to his place, he's no longer responsible for it. This applies to when the article is not alive. When, however, a thief steals a lamb from a friend, the owner discovers the thief, and the thief then returns to the herd without informing the owner of that. Afterwards, the lamb dies or it's stolen, so then the first is chayav b'achrais. However, the owner counted the sheep and the herd was complete, the thief is no longer liable. If the owner did not know that the lamb was stolen or returned, the thief is chayav until he informs the owner, so that he will pay more attention to the stolen lamb. This is necessary because the thief taught in a way other than followed by the other sheep in his herd. Perek Hamishi, the 5th chapter. This chapter contains 12 halachas, and it primarily speaks about buying from a ganef and different takanas of the shuk. Halacha Aleph. It's forbidden to buy a stolen article from a thief. It's a severe sin because it reinforces the transgressor and motivates him to steal in the future. If he's not going to find a person to purchase a stolen article, he will not steal. This is what the Torah says, what the pasuk says in Mishlei, person who shares profits with a thief hates his own soul. Person, if a thief steals and sells the stolen article before the owner was miyayish, before he despairs of its return, then and then the thief is discovered. Now witnesses come and testify that so-and-so stole this particular article in their presence. So then Allah is so the stolen article shall be returned to its owner. The owner has to reimburse the purchaser for the money that he paid the thief. And this was misakin to enable for takanas ashuk. And the Baalim go and make a din with the ganef. And gonna force him who also by takanas ashuk. If the thief has a reputation that's known, the Chachamim did not ordain this kula. The owner is not required to pay the purchaser anything. Instead, the purchaser must sue the thief and collect the money he paid from him. Now, if the Baila were Miyayish, doesn't matter whether the spirit before the thief sold article afterwards. The purchaser acquires the article because of the owner's yush and the transfer from one domain to another. He's not required to return the article itself. He must reimburse the owner if he purchased the article from the thief whose reputation was well known. If the thief was not known to steal, the purchaser is neither required to give him the owner of the article in order to reimburse him. This was masakin to enable the uninhibited trading in the marketplace. When the purchaser sues the original owner for the return of the money he spent, so if there's no witnesses who can testify regarding the price, the trader must take an oath while holding a title, stating the price he paid, and then collects the sum from the original owner. Whenever a person takes an oath, when he collects, the oath is midrabanan, he must take the oath while holding a sacred article, as we'll explain, in the appropriate place. Hey, when the purchaser sues the thief for the return of his money, the thief claims that he received a lesser sum. The trader must take an oath while holding a chayvitz. He then collects the sum from the thief. He's required to take an oath because the thief is not given the option to take the oath. We don't trust him. Well, if a thief stole and gave the stolen article as payment for the loan or payment for the chayiv owed to a merchant, this takana. Instead, the owner of the article shall take his article back from the thief's creditor without paying him, and the thief remains responsible for the debt as before. When the stolen article was given as a loan, regardless of whether the loan was given for more or less than the worth of the chayfetz, the original owner shall pay the person holding and then sue the thief for the money unless the gana was known, as explained above. Zayin, when a person bought a stolen article from a gana whose reputation is not known, he is entitled to collect the amount he paid for the original owner. Only then must he return the stolen article. So applies whether he paid 100 zuz for an article worth 200, 200 for an article worth 100. Chachamim ordained the rule to allow the shuk k'moshe barno. Hayanesh begana mea zuz begana ve'evi lebal chayv v'nas le mea acheres. Genevah chezeres lebalav ve'em lazel lech l'tva gan b'masayim. Sh'nasat le amea acheres mea chayv v'shev l'chav l'bad k'shem she'eman t'vrishena eman t'vrishena. Now, the original owner is not required to reimburse the guy of the stolen article. A person was owed 100 zuz by a thief. The thief stole an article and gave it to the creditor. We gave the thief another 100 zuz. The stolen article must be returned to its original owner, and we tell the creditor to demand payment for 200 zuz from the ganav. For you did not give him the second 100 only because of the article that he gave you. So just as you trusted him with regards to the first 100, so you trusted him with regards to the second. So, for example, if a person purchases a stolen article for a thief whose reputation was not known for 100 zuz, if it was a bal gneim neisel achrin mea vesem v'neitel gnevasa v'chizer bal v'neitel esem shal sachar v'nameish v'neitel amea min aganav v'ganav v'furzel v'neitel amea vesem v'ataber shalakak min aganav v'hedach ataber v'tebei aganav b'mea shal keren v'odin emocha ha'sheni l'shlishi v'ashlishi l'vi afilu mea again, the Torah does not allow profit to be made from a sale of stolen article. For example, if a person purchased a stolen article from a thief whose reputation was not known for 100 zuz and sold it to a friend for 120, and afterwards the thief was taken, so the original owner has to pay the second purchaser 120 zuz. He then takes this chayfetz. Afterwards, he shall be reimbursed 20 zuz by the seller and then collects 100 from the thief. If the reputation of the thief was known, the original owner shall pay the second purchaser 120 zuz and collect the amount from the trader who purchased the article from the thief. The trader shall then collect the principal 100 zuz from the thief. The same halacha applies with the second purchaser who sold the stolen article to a third, or a third to a fourth, even if the stolen article changed hands 100 times. The final purchaser is reimbursed completely by the owner, who takes profit from each of the middlemen and collects the principal from the thief, as this applies before the owner was miyaif, as we explained. Now, Allah is like this. When there is a report that goods belonging to a person was not known to sell his personal property were stolen, and the person recognizes utensils and books in the possession of another person, they also apply when a person would frequently sell his personal property, but the utensils he recognized as his own were utensils that were made to lend or to rent out. And now, if witnesses came and testified that the kelim belonging to the said individual, the person in possession of the utensil shall take an oath, stating that the price he paid for the utensil collects the sum from the owner and then returns to him. Aleph. Now, if the owner of the house would frequently sell his personal property, and the objects in question were not utensils that were made to lend or rent out, such as that instance, even if there is a report that the property was stolen, the original owner is not entitled to claim it back from the purchaser, for it is possible that he sold it to others. But now, if the homeowner's word, however, accepted like this, people came and stayed in his home. At night, he arose and called out, my kelim and my scrolls had been stolen. His neighbors found a tunnel dug from his home and saw the people who lodged in his home leaving, carrying bundles or utensils on their shoulders. The thief were not found, and afterwards the house owner claimed that he had discovered stolen articles in the possession of another person. Everyone agreed, saying these are the house owner's scrolls. So, now the person in possession of the article shall take an oath, stating his price he paid for the articles, and collect the sum of the homeowners and then return it to them. A person whose reputation as a thief, everybody knows about it. He entered a person's home and witnesses testified that he left his utensils hidden under his cloak. So the halacha is, balabais v'tan varm l'kuch name b'yodei balabais em gnu name hayu balabais shen dark v'limkir skelo v'ism kilim in der b'nodam tvinim in der v'ism amuksal tin kilim tax knafov our balabais them v'yishov nik the schemets when it told kilov. Now, so his word is not accepted, even though the balabais was present. Although the Ganav claims to have purchased the articles, since the homeowner claims they were stolen, the balabais is accepted, provided it was not known to sell his property, personal property. The articles in questions are not generally carried hidden, and the person in possession of the articles does not ordinarily carry them under his cloak. So the balabais must take an oath while holding a sacred article that they are his, and then take his property. And if the person in possession of the article is not known to be a thief, the balabais word is not accepted. Instead, a person in possession of the article must take a rabbinic oath that he purchased the article, and then he departs. Perek Shishi. This Perek speaks about things that are chazaka, that things are stolen, and it has in it 9 halachas. Aleph. Whenever there's a chazaka that the article is stolen, it's forbidden to purchase it. If the majority of a particular substance is stolen, one is forbidden to purchase it. Therefore, one should not purchase wool, milk, or kids from a shepherd's. This applies within a settled community. The desert, one may purchase milk and cheese from them. When we purchase 4 sheep, or the sharings of the 4 sheep from the shepherds or a small herd, or 5 from the shepherd of a large herd. Why? We don't have a chazaka that the amount of this size is stolen. This is the general principle. Whenever a shepherd sells an article that would be noticed by the owner, it may be purchased from the shepherd. If the owner would not notice, it is assumed to be stolen and may not be purchased from the shepherd. We may not purchase wood or purchase from the watchman or produce unless they sit openly and sell with baskets of produce and scales in front of them. Everyone knows about it. We may purchase from the entrance of the garden, but not from the back. Whenever the seller says, hide the goods, it's forbidden to buy from him. We may purchase from a shearcropper if he has a shear in the produce of the wood. Not allowed to buy articles from women, servants, or minors unless there's a chazaka that they are granted these articles by their owner. For example, a woman who sells linen garments in the Galilee or calves in the Sharon. In all these instances, if they say hide the goods, it's forbidden to purchase from them, for we assume that the goods were stolen. We may purchase eggs or roosters anywhere. If a person says hide it, then we say that the halach is asur. We may purchase a large measure of olives or oil from an owner of olive press. However, but not small amount because it's a chazaka that it's stolen. A launderer of a new woolen garment is entitled to the fluff that he removes. The strands that the comber removes belong to the owner of the wool. The launderer may take 3 strands. Anything more belongs to the owner of the garment. If an additional strands were black against the white, then the launderer may take all of them. When a tailor leaves more thread than necessary to sew with a needle and a piece of cloth that is more than the 3x3, he is obligated to return to his owner. Anything less, he may keep it. A carpenter may keep the shavings of the wood that he produces. The chips he produces with the hatchet belong to the owner. If he is working in the home and the owner for the owner as the hired hand, that even the shavings belong to the owner. We have to go where the prevailing local custom is. Whenever a craftsman sells items to which he is not entitled according to the local practice, for example, strands of fluff sold by a comber where it's customary that they are returned to the owner, so the halach is also it's forbidden to purchase from them because we assume that they are stolen. If, however, he sells a pillow full with wool, you could buy from him. If a craftsman sells articles for which he is entitled according to the local practice, then it's permitted to purchase from him. But if he says hide it, then it will be asur.